I killed a man.
I didn't hear you properly, sorry.
ACCOMPLICE from Spain. Very much kind of a twist and turn thriller with a kind of a great punchline at the end. I didn't see it coming, and it was like it kind of kept you on suspense from like the whole 19 minutes. It felt a lot shorter for me than the 19 minutes.
It looks great. I like the screenplay, although I don't like the ending. It's a bleak ending. Maybe it has to be. Maybe it has to be.
I really enjoyed the score for this film and how it was sort of incorporated into something that the character, that was personal to the character. And I think tonally this can be a film that's very challenging to make sure that the performances aren't going over the top, especially with all the twists and turns going on, but to still make it interesting enough that it's fun. And I think the director accomplished that very well. And I was engaged all the way through. I don't mind the bleak ending. I quite enjoyed it, actually. And it's a really interesting film. I actually quite liked it.
I thought the ending was pretty good in terms of like how it set everything up and how it paid off towards the end. Like a lot of the short films, they don't have a lot of time to like set up suspense properly and just like execute. And I think this one actually managed to really do a really good job of like setting up like the pieces as like the twist happens and it was like, oh, I get it. Instead, I was like, oh, that came out of left field. And I think like that's why it makes the ending particularly good. Like it's a surprise, but it's a surprise you can predict if you're super duper paying attention to everything.
I think the interesting thing about the dialogue too is that because there's two different, it's a country where there's a lot of people speak English, of course a lot of people speak Spanish, and they use that to the advantage. It's almost like the thematic of the film where like there's that misdirection, that miscommunication that's going on between the characters through the language. And of course it's good that it was a kind of a nice touch that you didn't even use subtitles at the end, because as an audience we're not even supposed to understand what these detectives are saying, because we're with the main character's point of view, and of course we get screwed just like the main character does in a way, because this is the second time I watched the film, of course, and of course it all kind of pieces together as the comment says. It's a really nice put together short film in a lot of ways.
I just want to highlight a little thing, and I don't know how intentional it was, but the male lead was a good-looking guy, but his hair was slightly off, and at the beginning he had some mayo in his mouth or something, and these subtle cues that showed us that he's not sort of as in control as he might look, I thought were very well placed.
I think the handheld is intentional, just because it's meant to convey the uncertainty of the characters, the main character, what he's going through, and also the world that he's in. He's not really sure what's happening. So I thought that was definitely intentional, and I thought it worked to the advantage of the film.
I actually found your wallet.
What? You did what? You found my wallet?
I'm kidding, silly.
Tone-wise, the film starts very kind of comedically, like very lighthearted. Some girl's trying to pick up this guy, you think, and it's just like the worst thing in the world could possibly happen in the end, the first frame, the last frame. So it's kind of like creeps up on you, this film, in a lot of ways.